Ready Check Radio. What's up, Internet? It's Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. That means here on Ready Check Radio, it's time for the Relic Grind. Our Final Fantasy XIV, 16, Rebirth, Dragon Quest, Star Ocean, and other Square Enix stuff podcasts. I'm your host, Mike Byrne, with no red lights behind me today, because apparently Stream Deck did an update. I wasn't aware of it, and now my freaking Philips Hue lights aren't working through the Stream Deck. I don't know. I'll fix it after the show. Probably aggravates me more than anybody else. Probably nobody would have noticed had I not said anything. They would have just, nobody notices the colors back there, do you? Like, only the disco lights when people sub. And if you haven't subbed, make sure you head on over to ReadyCheckRadio.com. Not only do you have the entire backlog of this show, but we also have Gaming Gumbo, other streamers going on different times of the week, including some Final Fantasy trading card games on Monday Night Locals, which that one's going to be a little sporadic over the next month because I'm in rehearsals for another stage show. No Relic Grind next Thursday because of that, but I think we'll be back the following Thursday. Don't quote me. I'll figure it out. Follow us on Twitch and Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff. Trying to close in on 1,000 followers there on the Twitch. So if you could do it, that'd be great. We got chat standing by to talk about all kinds of fun stuff. And also Mr. Chris Montoya, the Tarkoth one. What's up, boss?
Greetings, programs. I do feel a little bit of shame right now.
Why?
Because I'm in timeout. And
you are in timeout.
I'm a bad boy. I'm in the corner and I'm on
Sir
timeout.
Onion
right
Knight
now, so.
redeemed channel points before the show, and you got timed out. So for the first 10 minutes of this show, it's just Flynn and I. What's up, Mr. Paul Berland?
Hello. And we're in that weird part of the year that we're doing the show on the same day.
Yeah. Yeah, for what? Like, just this week, right?
Yeah. I think it works out 3 weeks if we add the last two shows.
Right.
Which is
next week
weird.
You are back ahead. Oh, we don't do that one on Unite. I'll give you those points back. We stopped that one a while ago during the shows. During my streams and stuff, you are still free to lose the glasses. That turns into a really chaotic show. So no, I won't be losing the glasses during the podcast.
Maybe when we have an off the rail show.
Yeah. We actually have stuff to talk about today. So yeah, it's we learned that lesson very early. I think Snowbound, the Blizzard show, which we should start talking about bringing back now. I think it's okay. Yeah, we learned very early after like 4 or 5 episodes. We were like, I can't. I can't. This is just off the fucking rails at that point. Because my host could just start talking about anything, and I don't know what I'm supposed to segue into anymore. Because I don't have the notes memorized, but I'm like, I don't know where we're going next. Not going to lose them, sir. Not going to lose them. So this week we have Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail news. So they had their whole PAX presentation and everything, and we kind of speculated, right? Like the only time they really had to make a neat announcement as far as Dawntrail's release date was going to be PAX East, or the 14-hour live stream. And I think for the most part, this panel thought PAX would be a better place to announce it, but that they would likely do it in the 14-hour live stream instead. But they said, hey, we agree, PAX is a better place to do it, and they went ahead and made the announcement. So now we know when we're looking at Dawntrail. The official launch will be on July 2nd, but there will be early access for pre-orders and collector sets and all that fun stuff starting on June 28th. So as of today, 3 months. 3 months. And when I saw the date, it basically coincided with everything we kind of thought, right? Early to mid-July was the kind of forecast we all put out there.
That was the forecast because they said summer, which, the first day of summer is what? The 26th, which is Tuesday? Yeah, no, that's a Wednesday. So yeah, Thursday. I'm all jumbled. I'm still on timeout.
You are all jumbled. What is going on with you? Are you okay?
Yeah, July. July. I always thought July, especially with the schedule and the Xbox and making sure that got off the ground, no hitches there. So this is what I assumed.
Flynn, any surprises by the date?
Only that it shares its release date with Shadowbringers, which means potentially May 23rd being when we get the benchmark.
Cool.
Yeah, I suppose that's right. Yeah, that feels right. That definitely feels right. I could go with that. I can go with that. YoshiP, of course, saying that he wanted to do it a week earlier, but
Yeah.
He wants to be a gamer for a week.
There's a certain thing coming out that week, the Elden Ring DLC, and while he says, hey, we want to give you guys a chance to play that, he kind of grinned and said, it's not like I want to play it either. It's not like I want to play it either. Yeah, so pretty snazzy. And then we got information on the actual collector's set itself, which let me hide the trailer for a minute just to show you a picture. We've got the Dawntrail box art by Yoshitaka Amano. Pretty standard. Still beautiful, of course, just like the rest. We get the Viper figure, the Adventurer's cloth map of Heidelin, the Unending Journey ruled notebook, an Adventurer's pen case. And then as far as on the digital side of things, we get the Arc mount, which I'm going to show the little video for later while we're talking. Wind-up Garnet minion, a Chocobo brush for the Pictomancer. And then as far as the pre-order gifts, you get the early access, starting on the 28th, a wind-up Zidane minion, and then the Zima earrings, which are a 30% experience boost from levels 1 through 90. There's a lot of FF9 in there.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of FF9 in there, Tark.
Why could there be so much FF9? I don't know. Could it be relating to the 2021 NVIDIA leak that still hasn't come to fruition?
Yeah.
YoshiP's being very cagey about it.
Yeah, he was a little cagey. He said, you may have noticed a lot of Final Fantasy IX references here, and obviously we saw them in-game, too, as the live letters or the FanFests revealed more information. He said, but the reason is a secret. I don't think it's really a secret.
Yeah. Come on, we've had Solution 9, we've had Viper, which is a nickname for one of Zidane's weapons.
Yeah.
There's so many references. I'm just
like
expecting
the worst
Necron
kept
to appear
secret
in the
ever.
story now.
It's bad when your secret got spoiled by a totally different company years ago.
No,
yeah. 3 years ago.
Yeah, years ago. A week after Elden Ring's DLC, Collector's Edition, pretty dope. What are you thinking, Flynn? Have you pre-ordered? Are you going to pre-order? And
I've pre-ordered the Digital Collector's Edition.
The Digital Collectors. Okay, let's not talk about the pre-order process for a second. Let's just let that be its own fucking topic.
I think it was fine.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess so.
Give
Yeah.
me some goodies. I'm good.
Yeah.
How'd your what are you pre-ordering there, Tark? What are you grabbing?
I got my box, and we'll set aside that process a little bit later. And then I'll pick up the collector's edition of the game a little bit down the road because it's not going anywhere.
Oh, so you got the collector's box?
Yeah, I got the box.
Not the collector's set.
Yeah, because with the PS5,
right.
You just get that through the store. So
right. Yeah, so since I primarily play on PC, the one I always get, as you can see up there across my top shelf, is the full collector's edition, which is the one I ordered here too. And my son Torchwick actually pre-ordered the full collector's box too, I believe. I think it was the full collector's box. Torchwick's in chat, so they can
let us know.
They can update me if I'm misspeaking here. But that's the first one Torchwick's actually, went and pre-ordered themselves. So
we'll
somebody else.
For one of the shows.
Yeah, they've always played, but they didn't buy like the collector sets or anything. It was always just, hey, it's out now. I'll buy a digital copy and just add it because Torchwick plays on my wife's account, and so I just add it to that one. Didn't the box and collector's edition sell out instantly as well, as usual? So yeah, let's talk about the pre-order process, and then we'll kind of jump back to some of the things some of the other things YoshiP revealed at PAX as far as maybe where they want to focus throughout the Dawntrail patch series. We'll come back to that in a second. But the pre-order process was an absolute fucking nightmare for a company that just apparently has never sold a damn video game or piece of merch in its life. I know it's a small indie company, but oh my God. The pre-order process was like, how could it get worse? It actually was worse this time around.
It was a grab the popcorn moment.
It was worse.
Fire.
It was worse than buying FanFest tickets, for crying out loud.
It was so bad. And the thing was, Square Enix had hours to try and fix things because Europe wasn't any better, right? Europe's pre-orders went up hours before ours. Makes sense. They had issues across the board. So they had experience as the time zones went across on, okay, so here's some things maybe we can, and I understand being a software engineer, some of these things aren't quick fixes. I get that. But there are things you can do to mitigate the problem while you maybe push a long-term solution down the road a little bit. I get it. But man, it was so bad. It went live at noon Eastern this week on Tuesday. So first I was like, by the way, I was in Vegas Tuesday until Monday night. I got back Monday night.
Middle of the work week, middle of the work day. Yeah.
And so when I saw the announcement come through, because I was still I was trying to avoid work, but I was still doing some like MMO bomb stuff, just like approving certain pieces and things like that. And when I saw Q post the Final Fantasy XIV one, I was like, oh my God, they announced the release date. Oh my God, they announced the sales. Let me check the day. Oh, no, I'm not going to be. Oh, yeah, I'm back Monday. That's a Tuesday. Okay. Whew. But yeah, Tuesday, noon. First off, that sucks. Yeah. That's awful. Like, the three of us are pretty blessed as far as what we do for professions in that, Flynn, we're able to do this. Yeah. Or in your case, like, it really didn't matter, right? Like, you just get on whenever you want. But like as far as getting a collector set, obviously Torchwick and I very blessed to be able to just happen to be on the computer most of the day anyway. But oh my God, so terrible time. And then Tark, it didn't even work. It wasn't like it queued people. It wasn't like, the site just crashed from traffic. Like it was so bad. Like it would almost work.
Didn't work.
Yeah, sometimes if you refresh the pre-order page or tried to get to the pre-order page, you might get hey, there's too much traffic error, right? And then if you refreshed a couple of times, you could generally get the page to come up and show you the options. But then the buttons didn't do fuck all for like 40 minutes.
Yeah, and it's weird enough that the workaround they had was log in as a guest. That seems to work at the minute.
Well, that didn't come until later.
Yeah, that was later. That was
like an hour and a half later. Because for like Tarky, you had the same experience where like the first 40 minutes, the buttons didn't do anything.
Well, I scrolled down. I was like, this button's not doing anything. This button's not doing anything. And even refreshing buttons didn't do anything. So I scrolled down, found an option for just the box. I'm like, okay. Yep. And clicking that actually did something. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm on the right path.
Yep.
Of course, that.
Yeah, I saw that too. And I clicked it and added one of them to cart. And that was the first one I was able to add to cart. But I was like, I'm not going to buy that. I just want to see if I can get it in my cart. Sure. And there were the full collector set. There was not a product page just for that, like there was for the box you ordered. And it added to cart, but then it was all downhill from there too.
So I clicked to add it to cart, and then I would get the spinny wheel of death for like a half hour, refreshing the cart again, just spinny wheel of death. I didn't have this problem, but my friend Mimi did. She had put the full collector's edition for PC in her cart, and when she got the cart to finally load, it was just the digital the digital version. It wasn't the physical box. So she had to unload that and then basically start over.
Yeah,
The
so that
whole
was
thing, the train wreck.
There was like 30 minutes where the buttons did nothing. Then the buttons would and by the way, you're constantly trying to refresh to get the buttons to do something, and more than half the time, you're getting a server overload error. So you have to refresh 4 or 5 times before you get that page back, just to try the buttons that don't work. And then the first error, I started seeing was people putting the full collector's edition in cart and only getting the box part. Because remember, I didn't have this error, but this has always been the case. Since they've done the PC collector's versions the way they do now, it shows up as 2 items in your cart. It shows up as the game, as in the digital software sale, and then the collector's set. So, and it's priced like the main page will say $215, but when you get into your cart, it's actually 2 items that are like $180 or $160 and $55 or whatever it is. But they were only getting the 1 item. They weren't getting the game. So it's like, here, might as well buy the collector's box. Or the other way around. Yeah. Then I saw, and this didn't impact any of us, but maybe you guys saw too, Flynn, where Steam users were buying it through Steam or pre-ordering it through Steam, and they were having issues with the actual purchase. But then some of them, when they got the code and tried to redeem it, it was already used.
Oh, man.
Yeah. There's only one person in my friend group that uses Steam, and I screenshotted it from Twitter, sent it to him. It's like, I'm lazy. I'm not pre-ordering for another month or 2 anyway. So he's circumvented by ambition.
Yeah, I mean, it was totally fine, right, if you just wanted a copy of the game. Because once you had site issues, you were just like, screw it. Like, okay, fine. I'll wait until 3 days before early access starts, and I'll do it then. But if you wanted those collector sets, man, that was brutal. And then when you got them to cart, it was just a whole slew of other issues where you could not log into your profiles, your Square Enix
that was
profiles.
one of them.
You could not log in. It would just sit there forever. If you click the login button, it would sit there and think at you forever.
Yep.
If you tried to manually put stuff in, it started spitting out edit address errors.
Yep, got those.
When there was nothing wrong with the addresses. Sometimes the country drop-down box wasn't there. And so it was spitting an error saying no country, but you couldn't specify a country. And then if you managed to get all of that stuff in, if you were paying by any other method other than PayPal, it was another fucking nightmare to get Square Enix to process the credit card or the debit card or whatever.
Had that issue too. God, I
whatever
had the full
you
mantra.
Yeah, I did try to log into the website at some point during the day because someone asked me, "Oh, has the price gone up from Endwalker's digital edition?" So I tried logging in, and my order history would not load. So it was just widespread issues.
It was absolutely horrendous. This isn't like they got slammed and 10 minutes later they had it fixed. This is over the course of like an hour and a half.
It was longer than that for me. Like I had an hour before I had to leave for work. So I got to the part where I'm waiting on the cart to load to make sure I got it and get to the next step. And I had to go to work so an hour had passed. I'm like, this is awesome. Like, I'm going to miss out because I'm driving 45 minutes to work and the system's just borked.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it was a widespread issue, so everyone was just borked. But then I get to work and I'm like, hopefully, we're not busy so I can be on the side and try to get my collector's edition while I'm supposed to be working. And then finally, after edit address, trying 3 times to get my points for Square Enix members with my account, I'm like, screw it, I don't care at this point. I just logged in as guest, and then credit card issues for 10 minutes. Finally, yay, victory.
So here's the funny thing, they don't appear to be sold out yet. After all of this and all You can still go to the Square Enix store and click on the 215 full-blown Windows game and collector stuff bundle, and it'll immediately put it in your card. It does not seem to be sold out yet.
Until you do the order, wait 2 months, and they tell you it's cancelled.
Right. Right. Then you get the email. It's like, sorry, our bad. That was awful. Oh, my God, I forgot about that.
That was Rebirth, right? And Sephiroth statues.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
that was
yeah, that was
pretty
bad.
bad. I just don't get it. They don't learn from mistakes at all. And they were so quiet on social media.
Yeah.
Like, they acknowledged that they were having errors, and then that was it. And then what started to happen about an hour and 20 minutes into this is people started putting on Twitter, Flynn, that if you do it as a guest, you can get it to go to checkout. And that did work for a lot of people, including myself, who could never log in. About 2 hours later, after this all started, Square Enix put that on their Facebook. That's where I saw it first.
They're like, we're having problems. Please, please just
what a
check out
platform
as
to
a
go
guest.
to first.
They were like, we have confirmed
know.
that people who are checking out as guests are able to make it finally to check out and get the item. To which I replied, are you going to allow support tickets later to move your points to your actual account then? They didn't answer there. But about a half hour later, they tweeted that they would merge points if you checked out as a guest, provided you used the email address that is on your Square Enix account as the guest email address. Which is really bizarre, because if you type in on the Square Enix page to log in or to check out something, your email address that you have as a member but you're not logged in, if you put that email address in there, the first thing it tries to do is tell you there's an account under this email address, log in. And you literally have to, there's no button saying continue as guest. You just have to skip it and keep going down the form. So the site keeps prompting you to try to log in. Because it did that, I changed my email address. I used my Raideo email address because I was getting the address errors and everything. So I was like, okay, maybe it just really hates that this email address is assigned to a Square Enix account and I refuse to log into it. I'm just going to change the email address. And boom, I got to cart. I was using PayPal, so I was in and out at that point. Hours later, they're like, yeah, we'll merge it if you checked out as a guest with the same email address. So I'm totally assed out for 214 points.
Get wrecked, Mike. God.
I know, right? How do they continue to do this?
You know, their most successful launch that I can remember in the last couple of years was in the middle of the night, limited quantities of Pixel Remaster. Fuck you, Square Enix.
Yeah, when they put something up at 3 a.m. East Coast United States time and they only have 20 copies of it to begin with, things go fine. Things go fine. It was so fucking bad.
It was
so
awful.
Bad.
And all I could do was laugh about it. I was like, I was actually in the moment, I was actually feeling frenetic. But I'm like, I have all the other collector's editions, all of them, including 1.0. So to miss out because of computer shenanigans was like eating at me. I was like, this is awful.
Torchwick says, counterpoint, the Zidane minion is great. It is great. Although I was like sure that code wasn't going to work when it arrived in my email.
To be fair, I was running around with the Zidane minion and the Zidane gear. Just like, yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. What an absolute nightmare. I have... It is so weird loving a company's products and it just being like an absolute fucking chore to give them money.
But on the other hand, when you're me,
like
just like, yeah, I get still, I don't care. I just get to enjoy the drama.
This is some sort of like abusive emotional relationship, isn't it? It's like...
It is. It's an absolute chore. I'm going to show the Arc minion, by the way. This little video is amazing.
There
I
we
love
go.
it.
Yeah.
Or the Arc mount, yeah. It's just an absolute, like the first thing any company does is set up really easy abilities for you to give them money. right? Like that's business 101 is just
make giving
if
money
everything
easy.
else is broken, the POS system works, right?
Yes.
You can pay me. My customer service might suck. My store is a mess. I don't have half the product you want. But if I have something on the shelves and you want to buy it, you're going to be in and out like that. Like, I'm going to take that money and move you on. Nope.
They have shown over their history that they just want to make this the most difficult. They want to make sure that you really want to give them the money, that you're really a fan. Look at Play Online. Look at the original Mog Station. It's
don't get
better.
me started about POL.
And then,
like over the years,
the
if I've
website
ever had trouble with a website, especially when it comes to video games, there's been something Japanese based. I don't know why. Because I remember trying to sign up for one of the Metal Gear Online, so it took me 4 hours to set up my account because the system was so archaic.
Okay, this is a total sidebar. Total side. It's not even about Square Enix, but you saying that made me think of something. So Square Enix doesn't get a pass on this, by the way, for me, because they have a North American store, right? They've set up regional websites for their stores. So you don't get a pass that like there's transcription or translation issues. No, you don't get that pass anymore. Before Phantasy Star Online 2 actually came to the United States, it was out for 8 years in Japan before it made its way here.
Yep.
But I've always been a Phantasy Star fanatic. I love Phantasy Star. And Torchwick and I decided, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to get into the Japanese servers and play. And there were guides on how to do it. And there was specifically one server that was like, hey, most of this server is English speaking. We've kind of all just agreed to meet here. So if you're going to play on the Japanese servers and you want English speaking friends or whatever, go here. And it was this, guide. And it was, a couple hoops to jump through because of the, VPNing and, stuff like that. Nothing unusual. The part that was unusual and took Torchwick and I 2 days to get right twice, because you only need to get it right twice. Once for me, once for Torchwick, was the fucking kanji captcha. It was so bad. And the resolution on it was not great. And there's lines going through, right? Like if I see the letter A, but there's like 7 lines going through things to kind of obfuscate it a little, I can recognize the letter A. I can't tell if that's a line going across the top of the kanji.
So trying to get a photo with a Google lens, like, Google doesn't know.
We had... Yeah, it's like a reverse spot the difference. We had like Japanese keyboard overlays set up to try. It took 2 days where we were just sitting there like in a half hour here, half hour there on a keyboard you've never ever touched before in your life, because I don't speak Japanese and I certainly don't type it. I can't read it, so I have to try and decipher what's there and then find it on it. It was like playing Mastermind with somebody that wouldn't tell you how far off you were. And if you did it for like 30 minutes, if you did it and failed a bunch of times, you had to wait like 30 minutes or an hour or 2 hours or whatever it was to reset.
That's always good.
So bad. Anyway.
This just sounds like a pure episode of Sam Reich's Game Changer over on Dropout.
Yeah.
just like, what's going on here? Well, you've got to play to find out.
Then we played for like a grand total of 2 days. Like it wasn't great.
2 days out, you're done.
Yeah, it wasn't great playing regional. Now, it gave me an appreciation for like our Australian friends who in a lot of games just get totally assed out of servers and have to play across oceans.
But no, everybody gets to visit them.
Yeah, and now we can actually visit our friends across the Pacific.
Yeah. So let's talk about a few of the like tidbits that came out of PAX East from Mr. YoshiP here. They kind of did like a recap of big things that they put in each expansion and kind of some of the lessons learned through each expansion, starting with, the 2.0 launch and kind of rebuilding the game from there in A Realm Reborn, and then Heaven's Word, kind of the introduction of normal and savage stuff, flying mounts, the first ever fan festivals, adjusting difficulty levels and additional things through Stormblood. I thought that was really cool. Like, if you have played the game and you've been here for all of that, that was very, very cool. Then they get to kind of Endwalker, where they say, excuse me, that like a big focus, and obviously we saw this, was solo play experience in an MMORPG that some people affectionately refer to as an RPG MMO instead. Like the duty support being added through all of the dungeons, then the variant dungeon content, the end of the story arc. It was very, very focused on the solo player.
Yeah.
And YoshiP seems to think, you know what? We've gone a little too far here on two fronts. One, we've kind of maybe gone too far on the solo aspect. But two, we've also probably made the game too comfortable to play. Specifically, taking feedback about trials and reused mechanics in trials and larger scale multiplayer content, whether that be stuff like Eureka or Bosja or even the Firmament stuff in Ishgard. So they kind of said, hey, in the next stages here, we want to evolve the game a bit more as an actual MMORPG, where Endwalker made things a little more casual and solo friendly. We have new goals for Dawntrail. We want to refine that multiplayer gameplay, more large-scale duties where a lot of players are working together. While I've seen most compare that to Eureka or Bosja, I almost read that more as Firmament stuff. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, we are getting the equivalent of it.
Yeah. In the cosmic thing.
We're just like how many zones, though, how many critical engagements type stuff. Yeah.
A more fulfilling gaming experience. And then a big one that we've said a number of times here on this show, Tark, improved rewards.
Yeah.
Improved rewards. Here's the thing. It's all good to say it, Tark.
Yep.
But do they actually do it?
Yeah, they need to put their money where their mouth is. And I have heard that, we have a bigger budget. Wasn't it like 2 expansions ago that they talked about, we're gonna do whatever it takes. Money's like kind of no object. I feel like they're coming back to that and maybe just re-diverting. So we'll see if they're truly have the best interest of the game, because I feel like, it being an MMO has gotten away from them, and they need to bring that back pretty big time for maybe even me to keep subbing to the game. So good words, but they need to put actions to it.
Flynn, what's your take?
Yeah, it's like Doug was saying, he's a wait and see and just hope that it isn't such a bore, honestly. I'm logging into Raid and that's it. That's all I'm doing now.
Now, that doesn't mean like they're going to abandon other things like Island Sanctuary and those more solo-friendly experiences. But it does mean that there are certain things like that, and they kind of alluded to job changes that are going to be pushed back a little bit, while they kind of focus a bit more on the multiplayer component of the MMO. So it's not to say that we won't get any job changes in the Dawntrail patch series, but they will probably come a little later and aren't going to be as, I don't want to say severe, but as
whatever, Torchwick. I have a blast with Summoner.
As encompassing as they might have been in previous patches. On the rewards front, they have a specific target as far as like mounts, minions, stuff like that. YoshiP says by patch 7.3, they want to have 1.5 times the level of rewards that are currently on offer in the game by 7.3. He says, since players are paying us with subs, we want to give back with offering more in-game rewards. And obviously in May, we'll have the whole media tour where we'll probably get a bunch of information from news outlets and influencers, Mr. Happies of the world and stuff like that. We'll have the 14-hour live stream and all that stuff, which will probably go into some graphics upgrade stuff. I feel like that's the big thing for them to talk about as they get ready for this launch. Yeah. They are also looking forward to, this is interesting, we already had a number squish, remember?
Yeah.
But they're kind of thinking about what to do post Dawntrail. Since our level cap is now going to be 100, and typically that is, the top of the line in Final Fantasy, usually is 99, but 100. Do they want to go to 110, or do they want to reset things back to level 50? So do a full-blown stat squish like World of Warcraft did so many years ago. Flynn, what do you want? Do you just want them to keep going and doing the small number fixing that they do in the background to make things a little smaller for the database? Or would you like to see some type of reset to 50?
It's hard to say with the way that the game is structured with the MSQ, because it isn't just we are level locked on content, we are story locked, and the levels.
Yeah, but they are going to implement a skip.
Oh, I really don't know.
We are going to see a skip here to 6.1.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Tark, you got thoughts on it? You want to be level 50 again? There are people, I remember when this was a huge World of Warcraft like controversy, right?
Yeah.
Because people like big numbers. They didn't understand that like percentage wise, you're still doing the same damage. You're still doing like if you're a high DPS, you're still going to be a high DPS. The numbers are just going to look smaller, but the percentages are still going to look the same. It was a big deal for World of Warcraft to do that when they did it. And it was controversial by some. I didn't care. I don't care if they do it here. As long as it's done in an intelligent way, I get it. From a database perspective, the numbers just get too big to store, and you start having overrun errors and stupid stuff like that. So I get it. Yeah, go ahead and do it. But there are some people that will be absolutely opposed to this. Are you one of them?
No, absolutely not. And I was there actually, maybe I was on retirement the first time around for that. But like, it didn't bother me in WoW. It doesn't bother me here. What matters most is getting the numbers right, making sure things are balanced, and making sure that we have that more fulfilling gaming experience. So as long as they're giving me a good experience, what the numbers look like don't matter to me.
If you're going to be playing the game on PC, by the way, you should note that they're coinciding. This probably makes a lot of sense, right, with the graphics update and some of the other things. There is a minimum system requirements change for the PC side, and that is instead of an Intel Core i7 at 6700 or higher, you now need an Intel Core i7 at 7700 or higher. So a little bit of a change there. Some people might need to update a CPU if they intend to keep playing on PC. Do you really?
Yeah, I got a 6700.
Q,
well, I'm also running DDR3 RAM still. My system is for a while. It's like with the PS5 here now, it's like, yeah.
Oh my God, somebody mail this dude a computer. Like somebody mail this dude a PC.
He's got a PS5. He can play that way.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. And we do have finally the Final Fantasy XVI crossover event. That's, remember, just a reminder here for you, that's kicking off on April 2nd, so in just a few days. It'll run for a little over a month until May 8th. If you want the Torgal mount and the Torgal minion and some other stuff, which was released in a blog post today.
Yeah.
You got the Clive armor there, Glamour.
Yeah.
What's it called? The Median attire?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Median attire.
The red one, right?
Yeah. you can go ahead and get those. And although they didn't show it, they just kind of teased that, like, hey, the Torgal mount's got this little thing showing up above them. It looks like, if I had to guess, that Torgal will transform into Fenrir.
Nice.
It's either that or it's the pet emote.
Yeah.
Which they've shown off in trailers.
So I hope he transforms, but that's just me guessing.
Emote wouldn't be bad.
I could live with the emote.
It could be the flying transition. Like we have Ozma that transitions when they're on ground or flying.
I really want him to transform into Fenrir. If he doesn't, I am gonna cry a little bit.
Oh,
I'm wondering if Taka's even got that far in 16.
Did I just spoil that for you?
Shut up. Yes, I've gotten past that. I've seen that.
If you haven't finished the game, we don't know.
On the Xbox side of things, by the way, our Xbox brethren and sistren seem to be having some unusual but hilarious, in some cases, problems right now. Particularly when it comes to chat filters, right? Because they are playing through not only FF14's chat filter, but then also the Xbox Live, Xbox Gold, Game Pass, whatever the hell you want to call it these days, their filters as well. So there's some unusual things going on in the official forums. I wrote an article on MMO Bomb if you want to check it out. There's all the links to all of it in there.
On it as well.
Do you like the picture? I totally put up the Hildebrand O-face as the picture for this one. From the official forums, there's Xbox user claiming that, hey, I've turned off the chat filters in-game. I have turned them off in my Xbox settings. But I still continue to see like that auto censoring where words like class will have CL *** because it detected the word ass. Thanolin becomes TH *** AN. That one took me a second. I was like, wait a minute. Anal. Oh, are you serious? Anal, right? Yeah. So some fun there.
So to say someone's anally retentive now,
right?
Free company.
And then I found, well, yeah, that's different. I found a user on Reddit looking for some help. So if any of you know somebody at Xbox support, give them a little help. TGB B20KEN. So TGB may be broken in some type of leet speak there. Was looking for a little help from fellow Xbox players because they received a 61-day ban from Xbox services, which means you can't use their cloud or their chat or, play Final Fantasy XIV. For violating the community standards and was subjected to enforcement action. And if you're wondering what they had the audacity to do, it was because they were trying to recruit people for their free company with the following: hello, Sprouts. We are currently recruiting for a new free company that accepts anyone. Please have Discord because we have PC players. PM if interested. Friends. And no, it's not like the mentioning of having a Discord server, because I've done that in Xbox and other games, and it's not a problem through there. But what most of Reddit seems to think here is the words free company, right, as chat filters for,
Because it's free. You're not paying for that company.
You're, maybe
you're
upscale escorts,
or hello Sprouts, is that a derogatory term for someone small?
I don't know. Xbox support, get on that,
please.
They contacted support and support just said, yeah, there's nothing we can do, and most people on Reddit were like, yeah, tweet at Xbox support. So having fun there. You want to talk about Titan though, Flynn?
Yeah, so the funny enough, the person I want to talk about shared this. YoshiP reminiscing on the days of Titan Extreme and losing 300,000 accounts apparently because of the wipes, the landslides, and the wipes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
those are the days, man.
And the wipes.
Yeah, so there's a boy in my free company, Raideo. Shout out to you. This guy, back in the day, lived in Duty Finder for Titan Extreme. That guy must have got a PhD in this fight. Like, what are you up to, T? Oh, I'm just going up for a title again. Why? I want a mount. And this went on for months and months. This is, pre-Heaven Sword, and it went into Heaven Sword.
Right.
just like these people are deleting accounts. This young, I don't even think he was 20 at the time, Portuguese kid, just in Duty Finder being obsessed. Like, yeah, I'm just in here for fun. Like, it got to the point that when the Titan Unreal came out and we all jumped in, he was the only person not screwing up a single thing. It's like, it's so ingrained in him.
It's just muscle memory at that point. Could do it blindfolded just by the sound cues.
He knew that flow.
Hey, yeah, true blindfold run. Let's go.
Yeah. Man, I don't miss those days. The landslide, rubber banding. Oh, Realm Reborn servers were so bad.
Yeah,
and I think I had the worst of it for all of us, right?
Yeah,
like, landslide's coming in 2 mechanics. I need to move now.
Yeah, because you and your wife at the time, she was the PC player, right? You were still on console back then too.
PS3.
You were all over the freaking place.
Oh, I had to move.
I swear I was out of that. No, you weren't. I'm not even queued into the fight yet. Yeah. I definitely wasn't in that.
Keep in mind, during this time, because it was around Reborn, as European players, we're connecting to the American data set.
Yep.
Well, it was in Canada, though, actually, wasn't it, back then? So it was a hell of a connection either way.
A few other Square Enix pieces before we wrap it up with some love it or leave it. We're still awaiting what could happen with Final Fantasy XVI and obviously 7 Remake and Rebirth in the future here. Coming to Xbox potentially, right? We obviously know they're queued up for PC. YoshiP did kind of tease that 16, maybe could come somewhere else. He said it's not over in the sense that we have the PC version. Once the PC version, he's talking about Final Fantasy XVI here, is released, we're thinking about hopefully moving to other platforms as well. Lock it in right now, Torchwick. I was looking at chat. Lock it in right now, Tark. 16, does it come to Xbox?
Yes.
You think so?
And I hope it does. Yeah, absolutely.
They try to then realize they are limited by the Series S.
Ooh.
Because I'm so surprised Baldur's Gate 3 actually.
They made the exception for Baldur's Gate. I mean, they already cracked that dam.
Yep.
They already cracked that dam. I'm going to say yes, but probably not in a reasonable timeline. Like, it's probably like 3 years from now it comes out on the Xbox, something stupid like that.
Final Fantasy VII Recreate will be out by then, so.
Right. Although they will get, at that point, like all this DLC will be included, right? Like Rising Tide. Man, this trailer
It'll be a Game
great.
of the Year edition. Game of the Year.
This trailer looks great. I was disappointed on first playthrough. We're like, Leviathan the Lost. Aw.
Why is he so lost?
Yeah, let's find him. He doesn't seem like we should be losing him. So yeah, we'll get some love there. But speaking of like love, I don't want love from these things. Oh my God, look at these Tonberries.
The scariest things in the world. They go from small to the Master and King Tomberries, and they have hands now. They can cleave you and pierce you and stab you with more precision than ever. Run, you fools!
Absolutely. I mean, they look cool. It's absolute nightmare fuel.
Oh, it's total nightmare fuel, man.
I like one of the replies on Twitter to this. By the way, this was somebody posted back that this was the Kermit meme with Kermit with the hood on. Except they gave him a knife.
A big freaking knife.
I do like the another reply is like very much like Pyramid Head, Silent Hill vibes.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're very wicked looking and a lot more scary than the Jedi Tomberries that I deal with in 15.
Yeah. I'm a fan of it. I actually I know some people don't. Yeah. They want the like more classic look, but I think it totally fits 16's aesthetic. And
I'm scared to fight these.
And as much as I really loved seeing the Moogles in 16, they were a little jarring. with how, classic they looked in an environment that really wasn't a classic Final Fantasy environment. So I'm kind of glad they went this route, even though I know some people
They should have swapped the Tomries around. We should have had a weird ass 7 rebirth Tomries in 16.
Oh God,
It would have fit more.
Teeth, my friends, teeth.
This is just like a quick news hit for you Final Fantasy VII Rebirth fans. Obviously I have not had time to watch this, and I know the hosts haven't either, because this stuff just fell in the last hour, and I just jammed it in the show notes so that I could mention it to you. I'm a huge fan of like making of and back scenes, behind the scenes type stuff, not just for video games, but for movies and stage work and all kinds of stuff. Square Enix today dropped a playlist on their YouTube channel of 4 episodes of a show called Inside Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And they're like 15, 16 minutes long each. So you got about an hour documentary style where they kind of break it up. Like the episodes one is about the creating the environment, the art, and the music. And then the next one's the scenario and cutscenes and story and stuff. So I'm definitely going to watch it. If there's anything like really super awesome in there, we'll bring it. Obviously no show next week, but we'll bring it to the show after that. If it's the following week, I don't know. I don't know my rehearsal schedule off the top of my head. But definitely check it out if you like that type of stuff. And
I'll be checking it out.
And for those of you that bought Star Ocean, the Second Story R remake, the Second Story R, which I did, but I have not finished it yet. I really got to get on that. But I'm still not
so many games.
With Rebirth. I'm still not done with Rebirth. I'm taking my sweet ass time with Rebirth. There was a dope ass update for this where they added super hard difficulty chaos mode, new raid enemies, new weapons, new armor, new NPC illustrations, a graphics character collection, an option to replay all the endings you've unlocked, new game plus customizations, letting you reset certain things like character levels or items you've gotten. It's an awesome update for Star Ocean Second Story R. Damn it, I got to finish that one. Let's go and do Love It or Leave It. Love It or Leave It is the way we end every episode of the Relic Grind. It's where I give you something Square Enix related. Could be something they've released, something they've said, or even just something tangentially related to the company. And I ask you whether you love it, you want more of it, or leave it, cast it aside, never to see it again. Today, I'm going to ask Tark. We're all fans of solo-ish content being available in MMOs. We've liked some of the things that 14 has done lately. We don't think they got it quite right with the variant and criterion dungeons, but we liked where they were, their headspace was. Do you love or leave this seeming refocusing on big scale multiplayer stuff in Final Fantasy XIV?
Love it, but apprehensive because they need to prove it. They need to put their money where their mouth is and really give us the content that a lot of people have been wanting. I appreciate all the solo stuff, but I'm playing an MMO for the multiplayer stuff. So that's why I'm here.
Flynn?
Yeah, love it as well. Give us more excuse to buddy up with people and do adventures together.
Torchwick in chat saying love it, even though I'm not huge into that sort of thing. Torchwick is like
so weird.
Torchwick is like the super solo MMO player. That's not to say that they don't do things with friends and stuff occasionally, but like Torch just like
but
logs
he doesn't
in
go
and it's just like
games-esque.
just throws on Netflix or Spotify playlist and is just totally dead to the world. Headsets on. I come in, he's just farming a triple triad card. Just same match. 6 hours later, same match. Just
I bet when that one trial that he got to use the trust on, he was like all giddy. He's like, I don't have to get a group for a trial. This is awesome. Let's go.
I'm gonna love it too. I do enjoy having the option for solo stuff, so I definitely don't want to see that go away in any fashion. But I am one of the pretty typical Final Fantasy XIV players right now that feels this game is very, very easy. Something we talked about obviously, if you want super challenge, go do the ultimates, but that's not the answer, right? The answer isn't if you find the game too easy, go do the hardest content in the game. Like there should be a scale
that's
of
what I'm doing.
challenging stuff. So I do like what they're saying. I'm gonna love it. I think I'm with you, Tark, though, where I'm just like I got to see it, like because I saw the focus. You wanted to shift to solo. And there were some things that I didn't like about that. I don't think you quite got variant and criterion right. I think you're still missing the mark on those. By the way, those were meant to be repetitive and encourage solo play. I've seen in the official forums, this was a great point. Somebody brought up that, that type of content not only encourages solo play, but also kind of starts destroying the whole idea of a Trinity-based party system to begin with. And that if that methodology of thinking and development leaked into other pieces of content, then you don't need a tank. You don't need a healer. You don't need this because you could just do this, this, and this. I don't know if I agree with that or not. I think this is very specialized and unlikely to leak into other pieces of content. But yeah, I do want to see a bit more challenge and a bit more multiplayer in my multiplayer online game. Chat, don't go anywhere. That's going to do it for us here on the show. But in just a few minutes, we'll be going live with Faye. What's up, Faye?
What up? How's it going?
I'm good. How are you with your cat ears?
We're doing good. Doing good. Living the digital furry life,
What you playing tonight?
Back into Baldur's Gate 3.
Hey, who you romancing, by the way? Now, you're far enough in it. I need to know who you romancing.
Ironically enough, I have inadvertently played the most asexual campaign of Baldur's Gate 3 in history because it's just been awkward and they hit on me at such weird times that I actually haven't started a romance campaign with anybody yet. But I'm open to suggestions.
He's shutting all comers down.
All right. It's like, do you have loot? No, then go away.
Exactly. But I mean, it's like right in the middle of a battle, and I'm like, odd time to make out. I don't know.
Well, chat, if you have recommendations for who Faye should be romancing in Baldur's Gate 3, don't miss the stream coming up after the show. Give us a minute or two to shut everything down, relabel it. Faye will be right back. We'll be back not next week, maybe not the week after. I don't know. Follow us on Twitter and follow us on Twitch and YouTube. I like followers anyway. That'd be super great if you could take the time to click on that stuff. Until next time, whenever that is, though, Flynn, where can everybody find you?
You can find me over on Twitter at Flynn_Lola. You find me also at Within Crisis and Within Crisis podcast around. And that's me.
Tark.
Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all at Tarkoth Gaming. You can find me. You can romance me whenever you want, when I'm in battle, whenever I'm just chilling, it's fine. Blood all over, guts, it's fine. All good. And then find me here on Ready Check Radio Saturday night as we continue with Alan Wake 2. It is a hoot and a holler.
I'm Mike Byrne. You can follow me right there on X. But more importantly, follow at RC Radio, RAIDEO, and you'll know every time we're going live with a podcast, a stream, Final Fantasy trading card game, or whatever I just feel like doing. Until next time, gang, stay safe. We'll see you on the servers. Later.